Hi Spela, and welcome to the conference.
Thank you.
What is the most extreme level of hallucination that you had experienced with models that you worked with?
Hi, thank you for the question. So I will speak from my personal experience. I am actually personally using GPT models quite a lot in my day-to-day work. Actually, to that extent that GPT has become my go-to source when trying to learn something new, for example, or maybe find some information. Especially when I try to learn something new, which happens pretty much all the time. So normally I go primarily to GPT, and it turns out that it hallucinates in, I would say, close to 50%, but it kind of varies. So if you ask something and it doesn't hallucinate, this is normally a very useful answer. Normally you even get step-by-step instructions how to do something. And if not, it takes a bit of time to actually figure out that it's hallucinating, but eventually you do figure out, because if you're coding or trying to set up something in the cloud or something, you will see very fast that something just fails and doesn't work. So this is from my personal experience, because I am not personally searching for anything sensitive. I do not have some very extreme hallucinations, but I did notice that as a general rule, if you're searching for something that's, let's say, a very well-known library, or maybe you're searching something about the Azure cloud or something, it normally provides very good results, because obviously there is a lot of materials in the internet. But for example, if you're searching for something niche, for example, I don't know, MLflow library, the chances of hallucination are actually quite high. So in our day-to-day work, we try to, of course, build solutions that try to eliminate hallucinations. So we use techniques such as Retrieval Augmented Generation. Generally, they work pretty good. They have to be fine-tuned a little bit, but we're quite happy with the results. But we still do see some hallucinations. So I think that companies that are building such solutions have to just take into account, if you want to offer a very smart chatbot, you have to take into account that in some percentage of cases it will hallucinate. That's the reality of AI, and I think that for now we just have to accept it and hope for some better solutions in the future.
Definitely. And speaking of eliminate, another thing that's being talked about is eliminating bias from models. So what do you think that is important?
Yes, so I mean, that's obviously very important. So we don't want to do any misconduct to anyone, obviously. So I think that when it comes to language, I think that this topic becomes a little bit more philosophical, because, for example, if you're building some computer vision solution, you make sure that you include equal number of, let's say, men and women and people of different races and so on. So it's a bit more straightforward. But when it comes to language, it might be a bit more complicated, because so its nuances in the language are such that it might be harder to ensure that we have equal representation of certain opposing views or something. So I think it's not that straightforward, but I think it's a very valid question, and we should strive to eliminate it. So either through curating the data, the training sets, or with moderation that is done, for example. I'm not sure if moderation is done also on the level of biases, but for sure they eliminate some toxicity and so on. So I think that this could be one way of doing that. So as a disclaimer, I am not an AI ethics researcher, so my knowledge is very limited here, but I do agree that this is a very important topic that we should continue exploring.
Speaking of important topics, do you see any other challenges in the realm of AI in general?
Yes, for sure. So actually, I would like to speak about a topic that I think it's very important for us all. So not something that only researchers should deal with, but I think that's very important for the general population. So we do hear quite a lot the concerns about people starting to lose jobs and so on. So the fact is that, especially generative AI, with foundation models, it will, and it already is, increasing our productivity. So when our productivity rises, the profits also rise. And I think that the question that we should ask ourselves is whether we want these profits just to flow into the hands of the people who own the companies, who own the capital, or do we want that increased productivity that will happen because of AI kind of benefits the humanity as a whole?
Yeah. Thank you for your insights, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.